What's up, everybody? My name is Ajwritescrypto. Welcome back. It's been a little while since we've done a live stream. Hold on, let me pull the chat up here. Boom, pop out the chat. There we go. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Eddie RWA, Mr. Rivera, Jackson Crawford. I know, Jackson, you won that the gloves for Sin City, the signed gloves by Marab. Hell yeah, congrats, dude. Straight Adams, Shane Stokes, Jaden 21, everybody in the house, Ed Figs. Thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate it. First live stream back in a little while. You know, kind of. I do want to have the title of this show is crypto doomed? Question mark, and then an honest rant about why you should never give up. And that will be followed the very end of the show. Obviously, we will do the Tesla Model 3 giveaway, along with 10 people win $100 in VeChain. 10 people win these really dope VeChain merch packs that comes with like a backpack, a hat, a shirt, maybe like this little wallet thing, a phone charger, a bunch of really cool stuff in there. Yeah, what do you think about the 3K wick today? Yeah, totally. All things we will get into. It's awesome, man. First of all, I kind of just want to check in with everybody. It's been a little while, you know. I had a baby this year. She's 6 months. Very proud father. Aria is everything. I didn't know I could love anything as much as I love that little girl. Obviously, when I had the baby, I wanted to just continue hitting content as hard as I could. And then, you know, there was a couple days that went by. I started Trade Crypto today. And I was just like working so hard, and I realized like I'm not like I need to be there for Jada. I need to be there for my baby. I want to spend time with my baby while she's still little. And it really hit me like a ton of bricks one day. Like when I'm just like, I'm such a workaholic, you know, I'll just keep going forever. And then I realized, you know, I've been down a long road in crypto. I've been down a long road and learned a lot from the people around me. And I learned what to do and what not to do, and how to, you know, how to treat people around you and how to not treat people around you. You know, how to be with your family, how to not be with your family. I've seen it all in my years in this industry, and I just kind of was like, you know what? Um, if my audience really loves me, if they're really loyal to me, they'll support me through this. I decided to take a step back from content just for a little bit. You know, I still did videos. I still did no sweat bets. I still, you know, did what was required of me, but I stopped doing live streams. I didn't trade as much. I kind of just paused everything for a little while. And you know, I'm not making excuses. I don't owe an explanation to anybody. I'm just saying that, you know, it's my first child, as someone mentioned in the chat. My lung collapsed. Exactly. I had some stuff. You know, this wasn't an easy year. Nevertheless, you know, the whole time we're thinking, you know, this around this time of the year, we should be seeing the pump based off the halving cycle. And then really the pump at 24 pump was like its own thing. But I still personally feel that altcoins haven't had their day in the sun. I'm still a huge proponent, huge proprietor of the concept that alts will rise again. I think 2026 is going to be better than most people think. And really, if you look back at a lot of altcoins, when you have to understand there's a new meta in crypto where we have like, you have a big pump, you give it all back. You have a big pump, you give it all back. And it's not really like the way it used to be. And since, you know, the bottom of the bear market in 22, we've seen this new meta play its course out a few times. And, you know, when we have those big pumps, we got to realize we're going to give it all back. And I think a lot of people didn't want to see that in 24 because of the timeline. And guys, like, the institutions know this stuff. It's not like retail knows all the secrets that the whales don't know, you know? So it's a double-edged sword. It really is. And, you know, I sold a bunch of my bags in January with the hopes of, you know, buying anew. And then I started buying, and then, you know, obviously things continued to go down, and like, okay, that's a part of it. We're going to take some losses. We're going to take some dents, but we keep going. We, you know, find new ways to make money. You don't just kind of just sit there and eat it. You gotta pivot. And that's kind of what I did with prediction markets. You know, Polymarket is basically the title sponsor for my channel now. I got to add them to the graphics down here for sure. You know, all of 2026, I will be the only sponsored Polymarket creator that has a weekly show for Polymarket. And you know how proud I am to say that? You know how proud I am to say that No Sweat Bets has become something else, and it gets a lot of views, and I'm super proud of it. And some people are like, "Oh, what about the crypto stuff?" And I'm like, "Dude, what about the crypto stuff? We've been getting our teeth kicked in all year. Let's make money doing something else." And it's not that I'm departing from crypto at all. It's that Polymarket is how I've been making money to get more dry powder to buy more crypto with. And I don't think people really see that. And I kind of need to explain to people like, hey, it's not like I'm quitting crypto. It's just that there's other ways to make money in the industry. And I really have decided that, AJ, this is not a news channel. I'm not a news guy. Why would I try to compete with Altcoin Daily? Why would I try to compete with Wendy? They're the best in the game. They do this every day. I wish there was two of me too. You know what I mean? But I am one person, and I can't be a news channel guy and a TA guy and a sports and analytic guy. I can't do everything. And as much as I try to do everything, I realize that, hey, what I am now, number one, and I am a father. I am, I believe in God. I believe in doing the right thing. The right things will happen. And with that said, I've decided that 2026 is the year of trade crypto today. So this is what's going on. I will answer all the questions once we get to it. All right. So the first 6 months of being a father, learned so much about life in general, all that. And I decided that AJ Writes Crypto will always remain AJ Writes Crypto. I thought that I was a writer, early on, and I started like my brand based off the fact that I was a writer. And then once I started getting bigger on YouTube, I realized that AJ Writes Crypto really isn't like the best name in terms of branding. If you want to talk branding, Altcoin Daily, perfect name. BitBoy Crypto, perfect name. AJ Writes Crypto is kind of a mouthful, and it's kind of like a really niche thing that is really hard to market. So that is why I started Trade Crypto Today. And when I did heavy research on what my rebrand was going to be called, I could not believe no one took the name Trade Crypto Today. Like no one had that name, and I locked it up. I locked down the IP. I got the websites. I trademarked it. I did everything. I own the words Trade Crypto Today in that sequence. And the truth is that people are always like, hey, when's your book gonna come out? Because AJ Writes Crypto, I wanted to write a book, and I actually wrote a couple books. But then I realized that no one is going to like dropped things in the background. No one's gonna go read. No, not in today's day and age. Not like that. That is a thing of the past. I don't think that most people would care to read a book if I published it. And I think that all the things I wrote would be better if they were just videos. It would be better if it was a trading course. And that's what Trade Crypto Today is. So Trade Crypto Today, there's a new website coming. I got a really high-end personal friend of mine building a legitimate website that's going to be like a home base for all the news of the day. I'm going to post like my chart of the day, my news story of the day, kind of everything. There will be like a fear and greed index. There will be like the crypto bubbles. There will be everything you need to know about crypto that day will be on Trade Crypto Today. And it will be like an aggregate similar to Crypto Panic, but with more stuff and more things that you can use and things that you can do. And then eventually my trading course will be you able to buy the courses on Trade Crypto Today. There will be things that will be free, and there will be things that will be behind a paywall. And the things that were going to be my books essentially are becoming video courses. And I think that is kind of more, it was so hard-headed of me to think that writing books was the answer. And it's really not. And less people are buying books, less people are reading books. This bums me out because I'm a big reader. I'm a writer. I love to do this for a living. But I also have to realize that I'm aiming at the younger demographic to learn about finance, to learn about money, to learn about crypto. And the young kids don't want to read a complicated 60-chapter book about crypto. They're not going to read it. And I'm stepping on my own demographic by trying to force something into something that's not going to work. So AJ Writes Crypto is AJ Writes Crypto. That channel, I'm not changing the name of this channel. We have almost 50,000 subscribers. I'm so proud of that. Obviously, doing the 3 Tesla giveaways this year helped me build my numbers up. Love to see that. Big thank you to Sunny Lou. Big thank you to VeChain. Big thank you to everybody in that camp that has helped me grow substantially. Not to mention, I interviewed Joe Exotic. I interviewed Dana White on a beach in Miami. I interviewed Andrew Tate. I'm interviewing Andrew Tate in person at some point, probably in sometime in 2026. I did a lot of milestones this year, despite the market being terrible all year. I hit a lot of strides that a lot of people don't get to do. And I separated myself from the quote smaller crypto creators. I'm becoming one of the larger creators in crypto. And I can only go so big with a name like AJ Writes Crypto. So I'm separating I'm separating the two things. The giveaway is I'm announcing the winners at the end of the show for the 3rd giveaway. So AJ Writes Crypto is going to remain AJ Writes Crypto. Next year, this is how things are going to go. AJ Writes Crypto will have a few live streams a week, a members only live stream. It will do price prediction department. It will do no sweat bets. It will do high-end interviews and random videos I feel like making about crypto, about a story, about a chart, a trade, whatever. Trade Crypto Today is going to be more smaller content, like a 4-minute video with 2 chart setups. Go check this out. If you want to trade right now, this is the setup. Go look at this chart, set these alarms, do this right now. And I'm going to do 4 to 5 videos every single week for Trade Crypto Today. Eventually, my goal is for Trade Crypto Today to pass AJ Writes Crypto. But also from a marketing standpoint, it's actually brilliant to have 2 channels, especially if I build them out. Because if you think sponsorships, you think collaborations, you think, what things could be for AJ Writes, what things could be for Trade Crypto Today. I'm building a second business is what I'm doing. And Trade Crypto Today is essentially an educational crypto conglomerate that's going to have not just me on there. Trade Crypto Today doesn't have to be AJ talking every day. The other people can be on the show, like in the vein of how news channels have multiple people doing different things. Trade Crypto Today is not just going to be AJ. And that is, I think, there's already 2,000 subscribers on there. Not bad. Especially since I made 1 video in the past month on Trade Crypto Today. But this is all starting at January 2nd, 2026 is when we're doing the Rant back up. You will start seeing my face a lot more on YouTube on 2 separate channels. So guys, if you haven't subscribed to Trade Crypto Today and you're trying to make money trading crypto, get your butt over there. Click the link down below. Go subscribe to the 2nd channel. And obviously, a couple other things I want to talk about while I'm on the stretch here. We moved to Orcas Island because in Washington State, because my mother lives here, Jada's mother lives here, and Jada wanted to be closer to her family for the first bit of the baby's life. Totally understood. Jada and I met on this island. I love this island. I do get a little stir crazy here sometimes, but we are moving to probably Florida. Things are not, official yet. So I'm not going to say names, but I will be collaborating with other large traders. And I'm really looking forward to moving to Florida, there's a lot of crypto conferences in Florida. There's a lot of money, a lot of good things in Florida. And so in around April, there will be probably a 2-week pause in content. Not like a stop, but I'll still make videos while I'm moving like I did last time, but that will be happening in April. And yeah, so that's the kind of the whole idea, the separation of AJ Writes and Trade Crypto Today. And so there is going to be a 4th Tesla giveaway sponsored by VeChain. We were going to do all 4 of them this year. That ended up not making a lot of sense. I am proud of the fact that every time I did a Tesla giveaway, more and more people signed up. I think the first one was like, ballpark 14,000 people. The second one was around 18,000 people. And this last one was, just shy of 27,000 people. That's a lot. That's a lot of people. And obviously some of them did it twice, so it's not like different people every time. It's probably like the same group of people plus, and yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing to see that many people, partake in a thing, and it's going to happen. So yeah, but the fourth and final Tesla giveaway, which will be a Cybertruck, is probably going to happen summertime 2026. We're not going to do it next month. It doesn't make sense. We want to have time to build it up, and we want to give the market time to wake up. We Sonny and I had a very long conversation on the phone, and obviously they're feeling the pain of the markets. It's not easy to get people excited about the switch from proof of authority to delegated proof of stake when the altcoins are getting their teeth kicked in. It's hard to get people excited. And I always said to Sonny, like, hey man, like, it's not a VeChain problem. It's an altcoin problem. This is happening with all altcoins right now. I just saw Coinbase on my phone said Shiba hit a 365-day low. Someone in the chat said Arbitrum is hitting record lows. Alts are getting their teeth kicked in right now. And here's the thing. Every time someone says this, every time someone's like, oh, that's it, it's over, that's actually the moment you should be buying. Like, if you go back and look at 2022, when we had Gary Gensler and Joe Biden, and everyone's like, oh, this is it, that was actually the moment you should have been buying. So I'm always a proponent of when you see the most amount of negativity, when you see the most amount of finger pointing, once you see the most amount of just negative, toxic bullshit on crypto Twitter, you should probably consider buying more altcoins at that moment. And in the past, that has been true. And no one can see the future. That's the truth. And I've always said that. I can't see the future. I can make an educated guess based off the past, but I can't see the future. But what I can do is react to what's happening. And in terms of reacting, damn, am I good at reacting. And that separates the winners from the losers. And certainly something we can go over a couple charts during the show. And Cybertruck's banned in the UK. That is very true. That is very true. Hey, Jesse Walter, are you still all good with Algorand? Feeling like I have an announcement sometime? Yeah, I'm still good with Algorand. Talk to my point of contact with Algorand via Telegram messaging 2 days ago. We have a call set for next week. Pretty sure we're continuing in our partnership into 2026. I don't see why we wouldn't. It didn't seem like we're in talks of continuing the partnership. Our contract that we have now ends at the end of the year. We are talking about continuing. I'm all good with that because I love Algorand. The first crypto video I ever made back when the Big Boy crypto days was an Algorand video about portfolio build. And I'm super like, obviously all altcoins are getting hurt right now, but I also know that when altcoins woke up back in 2024, Algorand was a top 5 performer inside the top 100. And there are reasons, history will probably repeat itself in things like that. So L Fridge found out yesterday that your wife is pregnant. Dude, congratulations, man. One of the mods in the chat, the pumpkin patch is growing. I love that. Dude, congratulations. I'm so happy for you, bro. That's so rad. If you're not a father, you're going to absolutely love it. Like, I was scared to death. I mean, I had 2 little sisters growing up when I was like 13, 16. And I was like really there for my mom, like helping my 2 little sisters, diapers and burping and bottles and all that. Like, I knew what was up before I had my baby, and I like kind of hardened myself. I was like ready for the chaos to ensue, and Aria actually is like an angel, bro. Like, she cries sometimes, but like, she's a really good baby. And formerly Leaf. Okay, I got you. But yeah, I'm super, super proud of you. I'll keep it OG today. Straight Adam. Any news on Ben? Haven't spoken to Ben. Haven't said a single word to him. I still have this computer right here. The screen is still cracked from when he came in my office and punched my computer. That was the weekend I was at the Super Bowl, and I made $120,000 betting the Eagles that weekend was when he destroyed my computer. And I thought about, I could have called the police for property damage. He probably the computer itself was damaged, like, the outside and the screen. I mean, that's probably a couple $1,000s worth of damage. I could have went down that road, decided not to. And I decided not to get the screen fixed. I decided not to buy another one. I left this cracked screen. It's only broken right here on the edge right here. Luckily, it doesn't go across the camera. And there's like a little line through here that you can see when the computer's off. I left it there. I left it there as a reminder to never put your fate in anyone else's hands. To only trust people at arm's distance. That jealousy, money destroys people, man. Money is, you got to be careful when you start making a lot of money. And luckily for me, I have a really good support system. I have, my parents, I have Jada, and now I have a baby, and like, I just can't go crazy with money. Like, I buy like nice things and stuff, but like, that's because I know I have a certain amount of money put away. That's fail safe. Like, I'm good. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of jealousy there. And I tried everything I could do to help Ben. I tried in vain. I offered to pay for him to go to rehab. And he was just high on Adderall, basically. And there was no sense talking to him. And I didn't actually know. It was a while until I actually found out what was going on. He did hide it well at first. And then once things kind of became obvious, the train was already rolling off the tracks. And I wish that my phone would ring and he would call me and apologize. I wish that he was man enough to make that phone call. When he got out of, I guess, the mental institution he was in, I reached out to one of the girls that was working at the office back in Georgia, and I said, "Hey, I'm just putting the feelers out there on like making sure Ben's okay. I heard he got jumped in there. I heard some crazy shit from a couple people, verified sources, like stories that a lot of people don't know. And I just wanted to say, hey man, like that delusion you had about me colluding with some lawyer or something, like that never happened. Like you made up stories about me on your channel. Like that was all bullshit. Like I don't even know. The only lawyer I know is the guy that got me out of a parking ticket when I was 24. His name's Finley. That's the only lawyer I know, bro. I wasn't like, I had my own, building my own family, building my own business, making my own money. Do you really think I have time to collude against you, bro? Like, do you really think I'm trying to curse you? Like, I'm doing my own shit. I want to see you succeed, but I'm not like trying to hurt you, bro. Like, and I just think he just took such a victim mentality. All the world's against me. So it was just fucking lame, to be honest, dude. It was so lame. And it's sad because he could have really had a redemption arc. He really could have came back. And he should have just kept talking about crypto. And I wish him the very best. I really do. But I haven't heard a word from him. I don't know what he's doing. I don't care what he's doing. If he ever wants to apologize to me, he has my number. All right. Moving on. Is what it is. Can't make everyone happy. That's for sure. Who is the winner? We're doing that at the end, brother. We're doing that at the end. When's the wedding? That's a good point. It's a good question. When's the wedding? At first we were aiming for next year, but then we had Arya, and then obviously we want a core memory for Arya for her childhood to see Jada and I get married. So we're waiting a couple of years. Like obviously we've been engaged for almost around a year last summer. So yeah, we're gonna give it time. So our wedding is a core memory for the baby. Amazing. All right, let's talk about some crypto stuff, man. Let's talk about some crypto stuff. So right now everyone's all doom and gloom. Everyone thinks the world's gonna end. It's all over. But in the background, actually what's happening, Ethereum is the future of finance, says Tom Lee's. Bitmine adds $321 million in Ethereum to the corporate ETH treasury. And there are a lot of stories right now talking about institutional money. I have to fix this thing real quick. It fell down. I have to And the coin's not spinning. Okay. I'm better. The coin is spinning in the background and I fixed the belt. Very cool. But, there's a lot of really bullish stories in the background about institutions buying cryptos, specifically going in on Ethereum. And, this kind of ties in. It seems to me, guys, like large institutions with really deep pockets are buying the dip. Just saying, that's kind of what it seems like, kind of looks like what's going on. And, am I buying any alts right now? Yeah, I'm buying alts right now. For sure, I'm buying alts right now. We are going to start a new portfolio build in the beginning of 2026. The other portfolio I was building, I broke it up. Obviously, where things were happening, I kind of used some of the money to trade, like a bunch of shorts and stuff. It didn't really make sense to just hold bags that were falling. That specific portfolio I broke up. But I'm going to start again in 2026 now that there's kind of been the great reckoning. We're going to start fresh. And I think that also makes a lot of sense for 2026 to start fresh. Any thoughts on Supra? Altcoin talks about it a lot. Super Team, Layer Zero, Solana, Chainlink Mine. That is a coin I've been hearing about. I honestly haven't done my homework on that one. I've seen it. I've seen it around. I haven't done my homework on it. I'll be honest with you. I know Algorand's 11 cents. That's what I'm saying. And I literally made $50,000, just shy of $50,000 on Sunday on Polymarket with NFL. And damn straight, I bought some 11-cent Algorand. You bet your bottom dollar. I did put 20 on the Packers. On the Dolphins game, got my teeth kicked in. To be honest, just quick tangent on NFL. I've made 3 before the $20,000 loss on Monday night. I made 2 very large bets against the Steelers. Previously this year, I put $60,000 when I was in Vegas on the Packers, and the Steelers lost that game. And then when the Chargers played the Steelers, I bet $117,000 on the Chargers, and the Chargers beat the Steelers. So I wasn't as confident with the Dolphins, and I made $50,000 in the Polymarket Telegram group. There's a separate Telegram group just for Polymarket now. I believe I went 9 out of 11 calls were correct on Sunday. And it's a shame that the Panthers lost to the Steelers, because that was the difference between a $50,000 day and an $85,000 day. Literally almost made a Bitcoin in one day over one field goal kick. That's the game. And then I was initially going to do a larger money line bet on the Steelers, but then I realized TJ Watt was out, and I realized that the Steelers haven't lost a Monday Night Football game ever. And since like 91, and I kind of felt that the Dolphins still mathematically had a chance, and that if it was going to happen, it was, I bet the spread 3.5, and the game was close up until halftime, and then once halftime was over, the Steelers just walked away. So, from all the money I made betting against the Steelers this year, I gave $20,000 of it back. Still had a $30,000 weekend, just shy of $30,000 weekend, and I'm cool with that. So guys, I'm not going to always talk sports Polymarket stuff on AJ Wright's live streams, but it is a part of my content now. This channel is sponsored by Polymarket, and guys, I've made more money betting football than I have trading crypto this year. That wasn't true for a while until around week 12. Okay, I made more money sports betting this year than I had trading crypto. You have to rotate. I rotated in prediction markets. Prediction markets are smoking hot right now. And why not? Why not? Make the money, guys. Follow the money. And right now, Ethereum is the future of finance. Tom Lee added $321 million to corporate ETH treasury. Another story. JP Morgan expands crypto presence with Ethereum money market fund. And this isn't the only story. I think this is the first of its kind, right? No, the different story. No, it was no, I like the Finbold article better. This is the CoinC. I think it's there's the Aster story. It was this one. This is the one I wanted right here. Bang. JP Morgan launches first ever tokenized money market fund on Ethereum. American banking giant JP Morgan has unveiled its first tokenized money market fund as a part of the institution's growing push into the blockchain space. The fund being led by JP Morgan Asset Management, which oversees about $4 trillion. Let me say that again. The fund being led by JP Morgan Asset Management, which oversees $4 trillion in assets, will operate on Ethereum blockchain. That's just insane. The Wall Street Journal reported December 15th. Notably, the fund will be seeded with 100 million of JP's own capital before opening up to external investors, with external investors to being able to access the fund the 16th, which was yesterday. The product known as My On-Chain Net Yield Fund is a private fund built on the bank Kinexi's digital assets tokenization platform. It is open to qualified investors, including individuals with at least 5 million in investable assets and institutions with at least 25 million. The minimum investment is $1 million. So John Donahue, the head of global liquidity at JP Morgan, said there is a massive amount of interest from clients around tokenization, and we expect to be a leader in the space to work with clients to make sure that we have a product lineup that allows them to have a choice that we have in traditional money market funds on blockchain. Let's go. Opportunities from the Genius Act. The launch comes as Wall Street accelerates its move tokenized following Genius Act earlier this year. Basically, guys, like now that we have some crypto regulation and there's pro-crypto politicians making pro-crypto choices, JP Morgan can put $100 million of their own money into a money market on Ethereum that will be ran on blockchain, and they're only opening it up to investors that are qualified investors. Like, but crypto's dead. All coins are totally dead. Yeah, totally, bro. Totally. I talked to Wendy about this. Wendy O and I and Ellie did a really awesome kind of VeChain live stream with the women's UFC title fighter Mackenzie Dern. Really cool stream. Go back and check it out if you haven't watched it. Jackson in the chat here won a pair of Marab's gloves, by the way. And I was talking to Wendy before the show, and I was like, Wendy, like, what are your thoughts on altcoins right now? And she said, AJ, like, obviously things are hard right now. When you get institutional money, you get institutional manipulation. That's a topic we've talked about on this channel before even. But she said something. She said, right now, I'm only focusing on coins that have ETFs. And that's a pretty good point. I mean, that's a pretty solid move, because just focusing on coins that have that attention makes sense. There are coins that don't have ETFs that I'm still going to buy, but there are to focus strictly on things with ETFs is a really good idea. Across the board, it's a good idea. I'm not saying there's not money not to be made or in other coins. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that the institutional money is aimed at certain coins. And the cool thing is we know what they are. We know who they are. And those coins are at the levels they are at. Think about this. Think about how a lot of altcoins went from most top 100 coins. Let's say their baseline was 3 cents. And then they had their pump. And now they're back to 3 cents. Okay. Not XRP. XRP went from 60 cents up to 3 something and now is holding around 2. I'll look at the chart exactly, but it's holding a lot of that value. It's not back to 60 cents. Why? Because the institutions don't want us to be able to get XRP for super cheap. Wonder why? Think about Hedera. Think about HBAR. I remember jumping up and fucking down. Buy HBAR at 4 cents. Oh my God, HBAR is only 5 cents. Do you guys realize what's happening with HBAR? I freaking jumped up and down. I interviewed Lehman Barrett. I did everything I could to tell you guys about HBAR. Everything I could. And HBAR, its baseline was 4 cents. And then it went on the pump it's at. But guess what? It's come back down the hill. Yeah, but it's at 11 cents now. It didn't go all the way back down to 4. It held some of that value. Why is that? Same reason with XRP. The institutions aren't going to let us buy 4 cent HBAR again. It's not going to happen. It's never going to happen again. But you should definitely buy more while it's low as it is. I'll tell you that much. Guys, these stories, how are you going to be giving up on crypto with a headline like that? Never give up on crypto. Yeah, the night always darkest before the dawn. It really is. Visa brings USDC settlement to US banks through Solana network. Another coin that I am certainly dialing in on a little bit more. And this is where all the big money is happening. And guys, so there was a period of time where I stayed away from the top 10. Basic math saying, well, if the market cap for this coin is $1 million and the market cap for this coin's 50 million, which one's likely to triple in price first? Pretty solid angle to think about. And I still think about it that way. I'm still targeting VeChain, Algorand, Ondo, Arbitrum, coins like that, for sure. Jasmine. But there's also a level of the institutions are only going to play with the coins that have institutional money, that have an institutional market cap. And lately, I've been leaning a little bit more into basic crypto picks, especially with a lot of the money I've been making from Polymarket and stuff. I mean, I've been buying Solana, I've been buying Chainlink, buying some ETH, keeping it simple. I certainly do have my altcoin sleeper picks, like, legitimate top 100 projects below top 40. Yeah, for sure. I still have those picks, but like, I've been buying like normal coins lately, bro. And it's because of this stuff. It's like, Visa brings USD settlement to US banks through Solana. Like, you have to realize that the powers that be, the financial deciders of the world are picking blockchains now. And it's kind of obvious which ones they're picking. Ethereum, Solana, like, you know what I mean? So like, yeah, it's okay to have coins outside of the top 20, outside of the top 40, but you still want to have a nice nest egg in the coins that are being focused on through global liquidity. Guys, I do want to say that I am signing next year. Bitunix is my favorite place to trade crypto. I do all my crypto trading on Bitunix. If you have not signed up for Bitunix, click the link down below. Get yourself signed up. You don't have to use VPN. You don't need to KYC. It's dope as it gets. And guys, when I am looking for something outside of the beaten path to trade, I always go to Bitunix and I come here and I scroll and I say, okay, well, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, BNB, right above my head. Okay. You can see the numbers of the coins by the amount of volume. Okay. Ethereum, Bitcoin, over $1 billion in trading volume. Solana, XRP, BNB, 500 to 50 million trading volume. But then you want to, if you really want to know what traders are trading and coins that might not even be relevant, but that are hot trading coins right now, look at the coins that don't belong where they are. Okay, so Pippin and Beat, whatever the hell those are, have more trading volume than Sui and Chainlink and Hype. Weird. Why don't you target those coins if you're trying to day trade? That's what I do all the time. Okay. That's how you do it. Okay. And on Trade Crypto today, I put out a chart on Beat, BEAT, because it had more trading volume than Doge and Cardano at the time. And guys, it was right. That video was given right around here. Okay. And it was under the 282 level. All right. And then I did update this and give it to the Telegram group. It 22% up in 6 hours. And then it kind of back and forth off of 282 for a while there. But that's still worth it to take those shots when it goes below there, because right there you're good for 8%. Right there you're good for 9%. And if you would have tried to short this level every time it comes down from this level, you would have won 3 trades, an 8% trade, a 9% trade, and a 41% trade in 6 hours. And this is a level I gave to Trade Crypto today. And this is a level I gave the Telegram group before this move happened. How did I know? Why did I target that coin? Because it has more volume than SWI. A random ass coin like that should not have more volume than SWI and Chainlink. But when these coins pop up, Pippin is another one. I have looked at the Pippin chart, but I haven't publicly talked about it. I'm going to put it in the Telegram group later today. Pippin is one just like Beat that you should definitely be targeting right now. And moving forward with Beat here, we're looking at the 12-minute. So we have another level here at 233. And look at what is forming here with Beat. So we already had our support resistance levels 209, 233. Point of control is above current price action, at least worth noting that. But what is it forming? Let me make these lines a different color. Let's make them bigger and let's make them yellow. Oh, I said yellow, not white, yellow. Okay. We are forming a pennant. Now, we already have the established lines 209, 233. And for this pennant to break, 233 is breakout confirmation. And if you looked in the past, it's very likely to go boom, boom. And how big were these moves? This one, bottom to top, was 100%. This one, bottom to top, from the same exact level, 147%. Guys, literally the same exact level. Okay. And now it put in a higher low, which is actually extremely bullish when you look at it like that. And you can even bump and run this level. So if it loses, say if it breaks down, the pennant breaks down, and 209 is breakdown confirmation, this bump and run level would be your target. And then the short from there even continues on, if you were to lose like 164 or something like that. So definitely use the bump and run as a measuring stick in the event it breaks down, and use 233 as your long alarm, as that will serve as breakout confirmation. And not to mention, the point of control, not from the current price, but from 233 to the point of control, is a 16% trade. Keep an eye on the ticker BEAT, BEAT. All right. And another thing I want to say is, people get me wrong. I am not saying buy this coin. I'm not sponsored by that coin. I don't give a shit what that coin does. All I know is that I'm leverage trading that coin because it has an exorbitant amount of volume. Period. I'm scalp trading that coin. I feel that I should not have to say that, but I do. Crypto Twitter, man. Jesus. You can't say anything. All right. But this is definitely one to scalp trade. Another coin I have scalp traded a lot is Aster. And Aster spiral continues despite support from accelerated buybacks. There was some sort of, obviously people are frustrated. The allegations of wash trading and a CZ sell-off. I was worried about this with Aster, and I was worried about this because of it. Here, let's read the story really fast. The Aster team has shared an update to clarify its buyback program. According to the post, the buybacks were paused but have restarted and will continue in the future. Aster's price continues to flounder despite the buybacks. The Aster token is not performing well despite the team's continued support with increased buybacks. The platform's update on the buyback program is on its official X page and attracted a largely critical audience triggered by seemingly down-only price action. S4 buybacks were not stopped, and December 8th, they accelerated S4 buyback execution to $4 million per day in the accelerated tranche in 8 days, with 32 million executed in total. Basically, just buying back the coins, and they're still falling. It's basically an attempt to hold the value of the coin up, and it still didn't work because people are pointing the finger at CZ. And guys, I forget the exact date. Well, let me actually look at a chart. Let me look at any chart. I can tell you what day it was based off the chart. Go to the daily. Was it hold on. Yeah, it's driving me nuts. Was it November 3rd? Here, let me. I do want to talk about Ethereum. I do want to talk about Solana. Let me use the B chart here. That's not it either. Hold on. It's driving me crazy. I want to remember the day. Here it is. This week right there. October 9th. Damn it. That was the day. That was the day I wanted to talk about. October 9th. October 9th was an extremely gnarly wick where it was the largest dip, single wick liquidation event ever. And I was worried that once things came up and started to come down, that the target would become that line. I had my line in the sand on H bar support resistance here, 12.4. H bar is below that, actually trading in the tens now. That's absolutely gnarly. But like, there are a lot of like deep theories about the fuckery, excuse my French, done by CZ and Binance on that day. And Binance, people are holding Binance completely in people hate Binance for what happened that day. And I know this from very, very certain some peoples that dirty business was done that day. And that was the day where, as much as I liked Aster and I thought that, the chart had promise, I mean, obviously it had, a really strong start, and then it came all the way down. It had a move back up, 50% move back up in 13 days. And then kind of just got a little support. I drew this line a couple days ago, just kind of looking at, where it was bouncing from to see if it was going to bounce up above that line, because I noticed that the point of control was back in this range here, and it is still just dropping down. And guys, CZ lost a lot of credibility October 9th, and I don't know how he's going to win people's hearts back after that, because I don't know the whole story. Because there's a lot of theories. There's a lot of like wish-wash on what happened and what didn't happen. But from what I've been told from certain sources, some people just got completely effed. Completely. And that's not cool, man. If you set a stop loss, it should be respected. If you set a stop loss, it should be respected. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. To be fair, hey, we do kind of got a bullish divergence, though. Just saying. Just saying. But yeah, it's a bummer. Bummer for Aster. Big hit. Yeah, allegations of wash trading and a CZ sell-off in October. Aster saw a 10% drop. DeFi Llama delisted. Volume metrics. Weird. I'm not going to get into all this, but yeah, because CZ was like heavily shilling Aster. Kind of seemed like a money grab. Hopefully it becomes more than that, because they were trying to compete with hype, because we all know how hyped it, and we all know that there's a massive need for DeFi, perpetuals. People want to leverage trade on DeFi. Hype did an amazing job, and BNB said, "Oh, we can do that." CZ said, "Oh, I can do that." And now it's just there's a lot. I understand why people are so pissed off. I really do. All right. I did want to talk Ethereum chart, because we were talking about the Ethereum stories earlier in the show. And guys, this level that I drew here, 2845, this is these old support resistance circles that I drew. It's funny where the price is now, because I drew this chart months ago on one of the last live streams I did before I took a break. And damn, it's literally like right on that line right now. It's a little bit under it technically, but it is right on that line. We did get, the death cross. I want to look at the 5-day just out of curiosity. And we do have, bottom of the momentum wave green dot, but the RSIs are pushing down. And also the thing with the 5-day is that the 50, we are sitting on the 200 EMA. Sitting on the 200 EMA on the 5-day. And you break down from there, you kind of got to realize, the levels underneath support resistance, like right here, 2177, That would kind of be my main target in the event this breaks down, which is a 23% move down for Ethereum. And guys, if Ethereum falls 23%, alts, dude, when I interviewed Scott Melker, if you guys haven't watched my interview with Scott Melker on the channel, go check out that interview. And he said it so well. He said, guys, there's not a scenario where altcoins don't get wrecked. Because if Bitcoin needs to reset and Bitcoin comes down, alts get wrecked. And if Bitcoin drives up and dominance drives up, alts get wrecked. So there's no scenario where alts don't get wrecked. And he was so right. I wanted to argue with him so bad. I did not want him to be right because I am such an altcoin. I am an altcoin permabull. I admit that. But I also have seen the upside of that and know how fast things can turn around. It only takes 30 days to pump 500%. So if you keep lowering your average buy price, if you keep lowering your average buy price and you're patient enough, it will pay off. At least it has every single time so far. And unless you're saying with headlines like this that crypto is never going to pump again, I don't know what else to tell you. You know what I'm saying? But I would like to see Ethereum hold the storm here. Talking daily chart stuff. My level to short Ethereum would be this right here because it goes back here. This previous support resistance. So this level is 2714. This is my short Ethereum level, 2,714. All right. And if you look at this previous range, ignoring this wick down, okay, Ethereum spent the better part of 61 days inside of a 13% range. 61 days inside of a 13% range. That was between May and July this year. Yeah, it did have a little bounce out here and a little back out there, but for the most part, Ethereum spent that time in this range. And this is also perfect support resistance from over here, which is why 2714 is my short level for Ethereum. And to understand that, okay, it spent 61 days in that range. And if it comes back into that range, it's very likely to range in there again. Even if it continues down, it's still likely to range inside of the same range again, like it did before. And from 2714 to the bottom of that range is a 13% move to 2350. So that's my short alarm for Ethereum. For long alarms, obviously just kind of drawing, basic downtrend stuff. You could be a little all over the place with breakout levels. I would go from that previous low from back here. That would be the low I would focus on because that's actually where it got rejected from here. And it also spent 28 days inside of this 30% range right there. So that is 3355. Text 3,355. All right. So that would be, I don't care what happens between here and here. I care about the break of there or the breakdown from there. There's the only two things I'm trading. And guys, the reason I'm not going to go into why I trade like that, but the truth is if I'm not posting or I'm not trading, and if I'm not trading, that says a lot because there are people that force trades all the time and sometimes they're right. But I'm more of like a condition-based trader where like if the conditions make sense, okay, if the confluence checklist, as we like to call it, and the conditions aren't good. It's not easy trading right there. Like even just look at this Ethereum chart right now. Here, I'll leave the text, but get rid of some of the circles. Like this, look at this. This is a daily chart. How the hell are you going to call this? Like when it's just ranging like this. Yeah, sure. It broke down. Okay. But then you had a half step back to where you started, half step back down to where you started, half step back all the way down. How are you going to call that? How? That is not, there's no rhyme or reason. Like that's just gnarly trading conditions. All right. And sure, I'm sure there are people that could overanalyze this and find short, tight range scalps based on small time frame EMA setups, which is also something I'm literally a professional at doing, short time frame EMA setups. That's my bread and butter. But like when it's just chop, I don't care. That's what I'm saying. If it's just chop, I don't care. I'd rather bet on a football game than try to trade in those conditions. I'm just being honest. And Solana, you know, another scenario where it's just, look at this. Look at this. It's on this level right now, but look, 122, 147. I literally mentioned this in the video on AJ Writes, the video I put out a couple days ago. Look at this. Solana has been inside of this 20% range for 34 days. 34 days. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And guys, and Solana is very likely, given the divergence here, to just pop back up and pop back down. Like, it's very likely to stay in this range. But in the event Solana goes below, there's your sign. Because if you're stuck inside of a sideways range for 34 days and that range breaks, that's your trade. That's called a conditional range. That's your trade. All right. And it is very, very close to breaking down. Let's hope that's not the case. Considering this is my only live stream this week, we have to talk about Jake Paul, man. We have to talk about Jake Paul. All right. Shout out to Polymarket for sponsoring No Sweat Bets. Jake Paul is fighting Anthony Joshua. There's a 3% chance it's a draw or it's not scored. I actually absolutely hate that that's an option, because I think draws should be pushed. If it's a draw in a UFC fight, I've bet on a lot of UFC fights on Polymarket. In a UFC fight, if it's a draw, that result is a push and you get your money back. Not in this fight. And I actually hate that aspect of this fight particularly. Maybe throw 100 on the draw, no score, just to hedge, man. Just a hedge. Like, what the fuck? You know, it's $100. But all the metrics in the world, Anthony Joshua. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and say this straight up. Jake Paul is not taking a fight he can't lose, that he can't win. If he thinks he can win, he'll take the fight. He has so much riding on this fight. His entire boxing career is riding on this fight. And it's in 2 days on Netflix. Right or wrong, I'm betting Jake Paul. I don't give a shit if I'm wrong. I'm betting Jake Paul. Okay. I mean, I got 50 grand I don't care about. You know what I mean? 50 grand would be $400,000. $400,000. And say I don't want to go 50. Say I just want to bet 10 grand. Small, measly $10,000. That would be $85,000 if he wins. And I'm telling you, Jake Paul's a spectacle. The kid is not just going to go out there and get his teeth kicked in publicly. It's going to be a brawl. I'm betting Jake Paul. It's that simple. I don't care if I'm right or wrong. I'm betting Jake Paul. And someone said in the chat, fights rigged, Tyson should have beat him. That's exactly why I bet Jake. I bet $60,000 on Jake in the Tyson fight, because I know how these things go. And I think right now the story is, there's no way Jake can win. Jake's going to lose. And Jake's going to go out there and knock him out. And everyone's going to go, oh my God, that's how he's a spectacle. These things are rigged. The NFL is more WWE than UFC. I've been saying that the whole time. And you know, that's a good thing, because then we can find the narratives and exploit them. I'm glad it's all rigged, because now it's easier to bet for me. Thank you very much. You get what I'm saying? Like, and right or wrong, I'm betting Jake Paul. Someone said, Rams no sweat bet tomorrow. Rams, ooh. I'm going Seahawks, bro. I'm going Seahawks. I might be wrong. This is the Rams Seahawks is such a pick'em. The Rams don't have Devontae. He is a weapon. And sure, Phillip Rivers put up a little bit more of a fight than he should have against the Seahawks, but the Seahawks kind of play at the level of the team they're playing, unless they blow you out. And I'm betting Seattle. Very quickly, I do just want to know. Pull this up. Betting Rams. Yeah. So yeah, it's a minus 1 point plus minus 1.5. 60% of the bets are on the Rams and 60% of the money are on the Rams. So yeah, kind of seems to me like Vegas wouldn't lose if Seattle won. Vegas wouldn't lose if Seattle won. That's a thing. That's a whole true statement I just said out loud. One second. Ooh, Brad Allen's the ref. Braddy boy. Okay. All right. You guys in the Telegram group, y'all know what's coming. For those of you who don't know, I base 80% of my NFL picks based off of the referee. This weekend I went 9 for 11. Weird. It's like the refs control everything or something like that. It's like the refs do things on purpose to piss people off and give dopamine highs and give dopamine lows so the next high is higher to keep people engaged. It's like they control the whole game. Funny. It's because they do. And I make not all of, but 80% of my decisions I make based off of the referee's tendencies. And that's what the Telegram group gets. I'll just give them my pick and justify the pick, or I'll show them all the research, show them all the homework. And if I give a pick, there's a lot of homework behind it. And I 100% bet based off the referees. Good old Braddy boy. Shout out to Brad Allen. Somebody asked, is the first edition Kubota thing rigged? Let's refresh. The outcome is yes. See, I didn't think that was going to happen because I was looking at it now. I didn't know it got resolved. I actually didn't bet it. I wanted to bet it, but I didn't bet it. Because look, it says you can buy one for $23. And the price. So I think that there was a confusion because even right now, the top of the chart is $80. And you can buy one right now for $23. The listed median's only 38. The highest sale price is 250. Here, view more data. Yeah, I'm not sure if the requirement was that just one of them had to sell at 100. I was under the impression that the average price had to hit 100. And I guess I was incorrect about that because the outcome was yes. That's fucking crazy. Hold on. The market will resolve to yes for any daily price shown in market history set to 1 million year. No dispute. Okay. Wow. 3 million market cap that has been manipulated with 1K LMAO. Wow. This was fun. One of those lessons learned type of market people trying to convince you that the comments usually lose. That's true. That's crazy. Yeah, I honestly, I grew up playing Pokemon, so I was just kind of thinking that a Kabuto is not going to be $100. that was my angle there. Oh yeah, and the thing is that I still don't see why it was resolved. Yes, I guess a certain amount of them had to hit. Yes, I don't know. That one's weird. I'm not going to talk NFL. We talked a lot of NFL already. All right, we're at the hour. We're at the hour mark. Hour 5 mark. Appreciate it. One day I'll be able to talk about $10,000 or $50,000 as measly. I'm just gonna put a measly 50,000, just 50 grand. What the fuck's 50 grand? You know, fuck 50 grand. I'm just joking. Nah, guys. Before I do this Tesla giveaway, it ripped to 120 this morning as the website was manipulated. Okay, manipulated. Okay, I see. Do you dabble with NHL? I've been studying NHL and NBA. I haven't bet yet. I normally bet playoffs, but I have been studying it to prepare for what I'm going to be aiming at once football's over. Because right now, no sweat bets is football plus UFC or whatever else. And I've been talking to high level sports bettors. I have a couple contacts in Vegas. I know a guy that's just a college football guy. I know a guy who's just an NBA guy. I know a guy who's just a hockey guy. And I got a bunch of college picks from a guy that just does college picks, and I gave them to the Telegram group, and we went 6 for 9, so 66% hit rate, which is not bad. It was 6 for 8, and then the last one I got lost, and I was like, damn it, because I bet more on that one. But yeah, but I grew up playing Pokemon too. Hell yeah. But yeah, I am studying more NHL, NBA to prepare the pivot for no sweat bets. And I want to be well versed and well read and know the ins and outs, because the problem with NBA and NHL is that there's so many regular season games that it's hard to really get a pulse. Where NFL, less than 20 games, then we're in the playoffs, and the playoffs are normally pretty easy bets. And yeah, NFL is much easier to lock down. There's a lot more factors with basketball and hockey. And I've been studying, I've been learning more, and something we're going to be diving into in the Polymarket group once football is over. We might dip into a couple of them while football is happening, but as I get more comfortable with my data analytics for specifically those two disciplines. Amazing. Guys, just so you know, I have I have a separate Telegram group just for no sweat bets. If you're already in the crypto group, you get 50% off that group. So the same deal with Trade Crypto today is the same deal I'm making with the crypto group. There was a couple weeks where I wanted to post, didn't post, very busy, Vegas, baby, all the things. And I just said, hey guys, I'm not going to come after anybody's subscription being late or anything like that. I'm basically going to, everyone who's in the group, you're in the group for free until April. And then I'll do some sort of sale in April, like an April Fool sale or something. But so just like Trade Crypto today, for 2026, we'll post at least 4 or 5 days per week in the crypto Telegram. The Polymarket group, is less frequency, probably 2 or 3 times per week. But it's really it's all NFL right now, and we have been making so much money betting football. It's actually disgusting. So there's 2 aspects. If you want to join the Polymarket group, send me an email. If you send an email and we missed it somehow, just send another email. We will get to everybody. And I do appreciate Tyler Fitz. You do a great job with no sweat bets. You're a pro. I do appreciate you, man. I put a lot of homework into no sweat bets, and it shows. Do you have an opinion on Raw Powell saying the cycle is 5 years now due to the government moving their Department of Research? See, that's what I'm saying. There's so many people that are 2026 is going to be a really big year, because you got to think, we're in a pro crypto America with pro crypto regulation, and JP Morgan and Citigroup and BlackRock, they're all getting involved and putting hundreds of millions of dollars on the blockchain. And we're sad because alts are down right now. Look at the big picture. Look at the future of finance is moving on chain, and you're upset about your HBAR bag. Just hold it. Just be patient. I wouldn't be surprised for 26 to be fireworks. And if 26 is kind of a boring up year and 27 takes off, fine. But the patient will prevail. That is my complete, honest rant about why you should never give up. I used to work at a juice bar. I used to be a barista. I worked on the Yale campus, and I made coffees for the children of senators who rule the world. And James Franco got a egg white frittata and an almond milk cortado every morning. Like I worked as an electrician. I worked as a mechanic. I helped my dad around his motorcycle shop. I raced dirt bikes for money. I play poker for money. I in my 20s, I just kind of bounced from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing to thing, and I struggled for a very long time. So I came from, middle class family, nothing special. Like we could afford food and stuff, but like we weren't rich by any stretch of the imagination. And I know what it's like to have nothing. Like nothing. I don't know how many times I've moved to a new city with no friends and no money and not knowing what to do. And I've done that so many times that it's like a muscle. You can learn. If someone stole all my crypto, stole everything I have, all the millions, they took it all right now, I'd be fine. I'd be fine. I'd make it back in a couple months. Some people are just wired like that. And I want to start off by saying, like, for all the people, we're about to give away this Tesla. This is the third Tesla we're giving away this year. I know that there are some people watching this show right now that need to win that Tesla. That need that, like, God, that would change everything. Just 42 grand, 42,500. Or, hey, I need a new car to get to work. And that's why we're doing it. And I hope the person that needs it the most wins it. I hope they do. But like, you got to understand that you need to have complete faith in yourself and to believe in yourself and never, ever, ever, ever give up. Ever. I know what it's like to have nothing. I know what it's like to get chewed up, spit out, booed off stage. I've been jumped. I've been robbed. I've had bones broken. I know what it's like to have nothing. And that created like this fire, this, like, I don't know if it's fueled by hate or anger or rage or it's fueled by something. And I completely fucking refuse to give up. And I am to the point where money's just a construct, guys. Money only matters to how much, to the amount of power you give it. It's just like a way to keep track of shit. It's really just a made up thing. It's a game. It's a fucking game. And if you can find a way to provide value, or find a way to help people, or find a way to give people hope, or just to inspire, you will attract abundance. You will attract the things you need. I kind of felt like in my 20s, I tried so hard to make money, and I'd work all week, and I'd get like this $400 or $500 check plus tips, and then it was already gone because that was my rent, and sometimes people bought us dinner. I know what that's like. I know, and it's hilarious to me now when I just like lose 20 grand betting on one game. I'm like, oh, wow, that sucks. But like, I paid my dues, man. I walked up this staircase slowly. And a lot of you watched me do it. A lot of you watched my ascension. The come up is the story. How to replicate the come up. How to become a crypto millionaire. That's what people want to do. That's why people watch this channel. That's why people watch Altcoin Daily. It's why they want to learn how to do it. And the answer to the story, the answer to that is that there are no shortcuts. There are no hacks. The hack is hard work. The shortcut is trying harder and retaining more information than everyone else. Because knowledge is king. Information is king. And if you, like this, put your blinders on and get rid of all the distractions. You don't go out drinking. You don't go out doing anything. You stop hanging out with your loser friends. You stop hanging out with people who bring you down. You cut out the family members who are bringing you down. You got to cut the fat off of your life. You got to cut everyone out. You got to be selfish on purpose. Cut everyone out. And if someone is in your life and they're not providing value and they're just taking up your time, cut them out. Cut them the fuck out. They got to go. Got to go. Because you need time to study 6-7 hours a day. Minimum. Luckily, I studied enough that I got myself in a position where I got paid to study. I will never lie about the fact that if it wasn't for BitBoy, I wouldn't be here. That's true. He gave me my launch pad. But I was also the last person to step on the BitBoy launch pad. And I was the only person that stepped on that pad and made it to the next step. The only person. No one else even came close. Yeah, sure, they make content. But why don't they come to the bank with me? We can play a game called Who Has More? Let's play that. I can be a dick about things if I want to be, okay? And I made the most out of an opportunity and fought against all odds, and believed in myself and stuck with it and did not stop. I did not stop. So if you're on the outside looking in, that's what you have to do. You have to cut out all the fat. You need to stop letting the little shit get to you. You need to stop getting upset with yourself. You need to stop judging yourself. You just got to go. And you got to focus. And you have to just literally find something that inspires you and focus on it for 8 hours a day. And if you do that, you will find a niche. You will find a way. I hope that helps somebody who needed to hear that. And then you get to buy the boo-boos and shit. All right, let's do this damn thing. So let's give away some money. Let's do this. All right. First off, we're doing things a little bit different this time because the first time the draw thing on the website didn't work. The second time I did the thing and it sort of worked, but then the full names of the people were shown and their email addresses were shown. And then I got a bunch of emails from, hold on, come here. I got emails from like, if the name was johnnyh3@gmail.com, I would get like Johnny_H3 from gmail.com saying, hey, why didn't you send me my money yet? And like, I got this from like the people that were doing my emails at the time paid everyone and then said, we have all these emails about people that didn't get paid. And I'm like, well, did you double check the emails? And then they were like, yeah. And I was like, well, is it the same? And they said, oh, well, this email's a little bit different. And I said, what does the email say on the screen? And if it doesn't say that email, like, no, like people were like messaging our email saying we have not been paid. And it wasn't that person. It was someone with an email this much different than the email that was on the screen. Never, ever giving a chance to let people do that again. So what we did this time is we did the draw. We made graphics. For instance, the VeChain merch packs winners are Jason D, Martins R, Kohilera B, Chad C, Nomad C, Gibbs S, Tyron AM, Anna J, Baker G, Mike M. Hey, come back. If that is your name, let me get my head out of the way. If that is your name or resembles your name, in the next 24 hours, you will get an email from me. And if you get that email, you win. We are not giving anyone a chance to be like, you didn't pay me by a fake person who is not the person that I'm trying to give away to. Never again will I do that. All right. So these people, Jason D, Martin Czar, Kalira B, Chad C, Nomad C, Gibbs S, Tyron AM, Anya J, Baker G, Mike M have won the VeChain merch packs. Jay, come back. Come back. Okay, but Boobot can. Okay, just come here. Uh-oh. There's my Bubbas. Say hello, everybody. Say hello, world. Everybody, this is Bubba's, aka Booba, aka Muffin Pop, aka Arya. Oh, big smile. Hey, we're giving away monies right now. We gave away 10 merch packs, and now we're going to give away $1,000. $1,000, and each person gets $100, okay? And these people are Nick P, Jan S, Scott S. Wait, why is Nick P there twice? Oh my God. All right. Someone got missed, but they will get emailed. Amber L, Jeremy HG. Maybe there's 2 Nick P's. Maybe. I didn't make this graphic. Charlie S, Amber L, Austin BR, Jonathan S, Bond E. Okay. Those are the $100 VeChain winners. And now, slowly but surely, we are getting close. It's time to give away a Tesla. Someone's going to win a Tesla Model 3. Someone's going to, or if you don't want the car, we'll give you $42,500. Arya, say good luck. Say good luck. Okay. I love you. Go back to mama. All right. Everybody out there, drum roll. Shout out to Arya. Thanks for coming on. Guest appearance. We got a drum roll in the background. Someone's going to win a Tesla. Someone is going to win $42,500 or a car. Their name is Jason JC. And I will, and if you are not sure who that is, it's the email is something like Jason trades something else at something.com. And if so, because there are a handful of Jasons, but that is it. That is the winner of the brand new Tesla Model 3. Guys, understand, sometimes every time I do a giveaway, immediately I get like this backlash of hate of like, oh, everything's wrong, blah, blah, blah. Guys, 27,000 people signed up. We just clicked the button, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like 27,000 entries. That's crazy. So it's a long shot, but the fact that we get to do this, the fact that I teamed up with Sonny Lou, and now that is the 3rd Tesla Model 3 I gave away this year. That is so amazing. And I'm so grateful that like the last guy that won literally was like a construction worker in Alabama or something, dude. Like we asked him to do a tweet about it, and he was like, I have 2 followers, man. Like, really? Like, you know what I mean? He was like, dude, like I literally made a Twitter just to get on this, like just for a shot. You know what I mean? Because like people find out about the giveaway from other people, like, hey, it's worth a shot. All I got to do is follow this account. I'm entered for a chance. Why not? It's like a lottery ticket you didn't pay for. Like, why not? You know what I mean? So is amazing to the randomness. I know the first person that won the first Tesla was in Nigeria. That was a life changer for that guy. All right. So guys, I love doing this. I love being in a position where I get to help other people. And guys, you know, I do so many giveaways even on Twitter. Like, hold on. Literally, I'll show you really fast for all the people who don't know. Where we go? Where is it? I had like so many of these. There we go. Boom. I do this like twice a week on Twitter, right here. If the Chargers beat the Eagles tonight, someone who likes this tweet will win $200 in crypto. Blah, 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 blah. Hey, guess what? The Chargers won that game. I won that 27K. And someone who liked that won $200 in crypto. I do this like twice a week. 2 random people win $200 just because they follow my shit. They click like. I want to give back. You can't keep what you have unless you give it away. And my predecessor didn't understand that. He just wanted it all. He wanted it all, and he wanted everyone to know that he had it all. And as much as I have, it doesn't matter if I can't help my community, if I can't help the people watching this show. I really want, that's it. That's all I want, is to help as many people as I can. That's the only way I can keep what I have, unless I give it away. And that's it. So guys, amazingness. You guys are dope. I love this show. I love this channel. I've learned so much this year about just becoming a father. Just like what, it's a different type of work. It's a different style of work. And, you know, I do appreciate all the real OGs that have had my back all this time, that have, you know, been here from the beginning. I've taken breaks here and there. I've had life events happen to me here and there. It's, you know, I want to get back to doing as much content as I possibly can. 2026 is going to be the year of Trade Crypto Today. AJ Writes Crypto will maintain. We will still do live streams. We will still do videos. We'll still do no sweat bets. AJ Writes Crypto is almost at 50,000 views. Well, it's a pretty rock solid crypto channel. We just need to make more videos. It's that simple. You know, we just need to make more content. And that's what we're going to do. And Trade Crypto Today is like not that hard for me to do because it's only like a 4 or 5 minute video every day. Where AJ Writes Crypto is like the more high quality, you know, writing scripts and editing and stuff like that. So there will be 2 channels moving forward. All the things. I could not be more grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you. Throughout 2026, if you didn't win this giveaway, guess what? You're getting another chance because Sonny and I are giving away a fucking Cybertruck. Someone in my audience is going to win a Cybertruck. Okay? That's pretty cool. We gave away 3 Tesla Model 3s, and next year we give away a Cybertruck. This is my last live stream of the year, probably. I might do one. I might do the week of Christmas, no way. The week of Christmas, no way. Maybe I'll do like a members only somewhere random. I'll tell the Telegram group if I'll do a members only. And maybe I'll do one Tuesday the 30th, the day before New Year's Eve. That makes sense. That makes sense. I'll do one more live stream the Tuesday the 30th, and I'll do a members live stream in there somewhere. I'm not doing a New Year's Eve live stream because my family's going to be here. But yeah, we will do a couple more streams now and then. But guys, I'm telling you, if you want in on the alpha, you want in on the things, if you want to get my exact crypto charts starting January 2nd, we're going to do 4 or 5 posts every single week in the crypto Telegram group, ajalphagroup@gmail.com, down below in the description. Definitely sign up for Bitunix. Thank you to all my sponsors. And if you want the Polymarket Telegram group, tell me in the email, Polymarket Telegram group, or if you want both, we can make a deal. It's fine with me. And if you're already in the group and you want to renew, don't worry about your subscription. Since I took some time off, I'm not holding the hammer over anyone's head. I'm going to do a sale in April. And in April, everyone can get in for not the amount that it is right this moment. Okay. But if you're not in the Polymarket group, you really should be, because there's 3 weeks of football and then more playoffs. And I expect to print money for the rest of the NFL season. Just saying. This is not a news channel. This is a make money channel. At the end of the day, you got to get rich or get wrecked. Peace out. Love you guys.